Hi there, it's Nicole for Handmade Holiday 2017. This is my series where we create last-minute handmade touches for gift packaging and all of those good little things. And today I'm going to be sharing some Sparkle Snowflake Ornament Shaker tags. This is my last project of 2017, and it's again very much like a lot of my projects from this year's series where we mix and match from different companies. This ornament shaker tag is the tag version of the larger card version from Honeybee Stamps. I love both of them. However, the smaller size is really fantastic for tags, gift tags in particular. However, the smaller size really doesn't lend itself to creating scenes unless you are going to do something super small, and I didn't want to spend a lot of time coloring. Instead, I wanted to die cut my pieces and create something quick and easy. And my solution to that was to die cut some snowflakes from Simon Says Stamp to decorate the front of the cover, but to still create shaker tags for that fun movement and interactive feel. Here's a look at the snowflakes I'm using. All of the exact names of these are going to be listed in the supplies and on my blog. They're the MARISA, Melody, Abby, and MARYANNE snowflakes. I just went in and found snowflakes that fit within that frame for the shaker. Plus, I'm using Simon Says Stamp glitter cardstock. They released a whole assortment in rainbow of glitter cardstocks for Diecember, and I thought this project was very fitting for a Diecember event. Plus, this little ornament is fantastic. If you don't want to do ornaments, you could also consider making little snow globes. This makes ornaments or snow globes. This set does. We're going to just be using the frame, the solid ornament piece, and the ornament topper for these shaker tags today. To get started, we're going to do all of the die cutting first. I have found that assembly line style makes this so much quicker. Really, I would suggest maybe in an evening you could sit down and die cut all the components and then maybe go ahead and assemble them all either the next day or a little bit later on. It makes it go so much quicker rather than die cutting each element for each shaker tag, putting it all together and then die cutting the next one. In fact, to make it even faster, that middle piece from the frame of the ornament shaker tag is kind of useless. But if you go ahead and die cut one of the snowflakes from that with one pass of your machine, you are only die cutting once, and in this instance, I got 3 pieces. I'm using the Snow Flurries Simon Says Stamp set. This is for the teeny tiny snowflakes. In addition to the snowflakes for the front of the shaker, I really wanted little snowflakes for layering as well. I tend to like to go over the top a little bit. You guys probably know that if you watch my videos. And I went ahead and just die cut as much as I could with one pass of the machine. We're going to be mixing and matching the snowflakes anyway, and it just serves a purpose of going ahead and getting that die cut. Then we're going to need a piece of fun foam. I have found fun foam is the quickest way to do this. It's going to give you that layer that makes this tag a shaker. You could also completely skip this step if you don't want to do the shaker and simply just put a backer on the back of your little tag here if you wanted to, and you could leave out that shaker step if you're really in a time crunch. We also need a backer piece using the solid ornament from white cardstock, and we're going to need a window for the shaker cards from some sort of clear material. I'm using Judikins embossable plastic. I'm not embossing on this, but it's a nice thin plastic. It's going to be really easy to work with and not add a ton of bulk to the shaker, but still give me that great clear window. Those are the pieces. In addition, we'll need 2 of the ornament toppers, one for the front and one for the back. Once we have all of that die cut, so we've got the sparkle frame, 2 snowflakes, a large and a small, a clear window, a piece of fun foam frame, and then the tag backer, plus the 2 ornament toppers. I just did a contrasting color of glitter cardstock for my tag toppers. They're small. I have lots of scraps of glitter paper that I keep on hand because they're perfect for die cutting small little pieces like this. Once I have all this die cut, everything is ready to go. I had little piles of each of my ornament pieces. I'm going to go ahead and start assembling. I'm only going to do one in the video just to save time. I'm taking a stamp platform. You can use any sort of stamp positioner tool here, but I find it's easier this way. Matching the color of my large scripty style greeting from the Honeybee Stamps Flaky Sentiments stamp set to the color, some color in the front of my tag. In this instance, these both have a lot of red in them, so I'm using Simon Says Stamp Lipstick Red. The rest of the colors I used are all going to be linked below, or and also listed on my blog, so if you're wondering exactly what I used. Then I used a shimmery kind of metallic cardstock, or not cardstock, ink rather, for the rest of my greeting, using the Delicata Gold or silver ink for that on the back of the card, which gives a nice shimmery look that matches the feel of my shaker tag. Next, I'm ready to put it all together. I started using the Ranger Multi-Matte Medium. However, I think it's a little slower drying than Glossy Accents, and so it makes the layers move around a little bit. I really suggest Glossy Accents. You can use whatever you're comfortable with. I'm just running a thin line, attaching the sparkle frame to the clear piece of acetate. I did this on 2 of the tags here. I guess I'm showing the assembly of 2 here at the same time. And I really do like to give a little bit more dry time in between. I would kind of go back and forth, maybe cleaning up some stuff or whatever, just giving a couple of minutes. But for sake of the video, I'm going to flip those over and move right on to assembling the snowflakes. I like to center them right in the middle of that window, and I just put little tiny dabs of glue. You don't need a ton, because the beauty of this particular design is I am taking some Honeybee Stamps rainbow rhinestones. They're called rainbow because they're kind of iridescent and they'll pick up whatever color you put them with, and they have tons of different sizes that happen to work perfectly with these snowflakes. So I'm adding dabs of Glossy Accents to the snowflake designs anyway, picking those up with a jewel picker and then setting them down inside the snowflake, the little cutout areas, or just part of the design depending on the snowflake. This is going to help secure the snowflake to the acetate window even more, so you don't have to worry about adding too much glue here. And the jewel picker or a quick stick tool, something like that, is really going to be helpful with this to keep your fingers out of the glue. That glue is going to be wet for just a minute or two. Again, this is another step where I really like to let it sit for a minute before I come back and start gluing the rest of the layers together. Really, I did most of them assembly line style except for the ones for the video. By the time I got to the last one, putting the sparkles or the rhinestones in place on the snowflake, the first one was dry. So I could go ahead and start the next step. It really doesn't need a ton of drying time, but a little bit really kind of helps secure everything so it's not shifting and moving around. Let's go ahead and do the second one. I tried to use just different colors. I mixed and matched. There was really no specific rhyme or reason, just whatever looked good. If you're trying to match these to your gift wrap or other packaging, you might want to stick with a certain color palette. I am just in love with the Simon Says Stamp glitter cardstock and I used a bunch of scraps. In fact, I think the only new sheet of glitter cardstock I used was this red sheet, and that's because I think maybe I didn't have enough red left. I don't know, but all the rest were from scraps. I'd already cut something out of the rest of the glitter cardstock, and I still have tons left. So it's just a fantastic project for using up those little pieces of paper. Maybe you don't want to do glitter. You could do this just as easily from cardstock colors as well. I'm going to just attach this snowflake here on the top. Again, that Glossy Accents is securing everything to the front of these. And then I can just let these sit here for a second. I'm going to go ahead and flip them right over. I'm going to put my rhinestones away. That gives just a couple of seconds for that glue to set. When I was assembling these, I did it assembly line style, so by the time I was finished, I got back to the first one and it was dry and ready to go. I'm going to flip these over and go ahead and assemble the rest of the tag. I'm going to run a thin line of glue all the way around the edge using glossy accents, and then put the fun foam backer on. The fun foam tends to want to kind of change shape, so kind of gently round and position it so that it fits back behind the sparkly frame. I'll do that for both. Then I like to put something heavy on top to help secure this while this layer dries. I just want it to sit here for just a second so that I don't have to worry about that fun foam trying to shift. This is where, if you wanted your shaker to be a little thicker and have a little bit more room to move, you could do 2 layers of fun foam on the back of each of these, but just keep in mind it's going to make your shaker get really thick. So I used just a thin layer of shaker material. I used the clear bubbles and bokeh lights for the majority of my shakers, except for the 2 green tags, green and gold. And for those, I used the fall equinox. However, there were some gemstones in that made it hard for the backer to go on. So what I had to do was take out any of those kind of dimensional type of gemstones. That would have been an instance where maybe 2 layers of fun foam would have made for that particular mix working a little bit better if I wanted to keep all of that in there. Once the back is all dry, I'm going to go ahead and put the ornament toppers on both, making sure to do one on the front and the back. This gives it a really lovely finished look. Again, this is where I take my acrylic blocks once I'm finished gluing the tag or ornament toppers rather in place, and let that sit there for just a second to make sure the glue stays put. You don't want your layers coming apart and your shaker material come flying out. That kind of ruins the whole look. Once those are completely dry, I'm going to take some metallic string. I have silver and gold. So for the 2 gold tags, I used gold, but for all the rest, I think I used silver. And just thread it through the top of each ornament topper, knot it, and trim up those ends. Very quick and easy, gives it a beautiful finished look. With many of my handmade holiday projects, I really am looking for the project to be useful beyond the initial use. So where it serves as a great tag and gift tag for a present, maybe the recipient can use it later as an ornament or other sort of decoration. Here's a look again at all of the Sparkle Snowflake Ornament shaker tags that I made for today. Thanks for joining me for my handmade holiday Sparkle Snowflake Ornament shaker tags. The supplies I used to create these tags are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here are a couple more videos featuring honeybee stamps that you might be interested in. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.